Shabbat Shalom. So our Parshat this Shabbat is Vayishlach. In it, this Shabbat, we actually call upon the angels, all of us. We're actively doing this right now. We're calling upon the angels to be with us, to guide us, to protect us, and to wrestle with us. This is what they do. They wrestle in this Parshat. What happens, many of you know the story, is Jacob wrestles with the angel on the ladder, and then he's renamed, and in a sense, he's reborn as Yisrael. And so too are we, because we became Yisrael, Am Yisrael, the nation, the people of Yisrael. From him, Yisrael, we became. So he wrestled, he got transformed, he became Yisrael, and so too are we. And we can call upon the angels to help us with this transformation always, anytime we feel that we need it. Sometimes the angels are around us and we don't even know it, especially when there's darkness, especially when there's horrible things happening, but they are there. And sometimes we can get a sense that they're around us, and we can be grateful for their presence, and we can say, thank you. And other times we can pray and we can summon them, as we do every Shabbat when we sang Shalom Aleichem. We, individually and collectively, as one humanity, are all wrestling right now. We are struggling and wrestling with our demons and with the world and with evil, wrestling and struggling to keep our faith intact while others are losing theirs, while anti-Semitism is at an all-time high. When we look around the world and even in our country, not just in Israel, and see the acts of violence and hatred and the stirring up of energy that everyone thought was gone, but really has been lying, festering under the surface. We need to wrestle. We need to wrestle with all of our individual, personal, collective, and global demons. We are wrestling with the forces of good and evil, hoping valiantly that good will prevail. We are wrestling with public opinion, perceived or otherwise. We are wrestling with that which is thought of as right or wrong behavior, as people are frustrated and losing control. Just the other day, I was in New Jersey, and I was waiting for a parking spot. And I don't know what it is about this parking spot. It's in front of Sammy's, it's 3 restaurants in one, a bagel shop, a coffee shop, and a pizza store with pasta and everything, sandwiches and salads. But anyway, it's pouring down rain. I pull up, this woman has her left blinker on, all of her lights are on, and I'm sitting there, and there's like 3 cars behind me, and I'm sure you all can relate to this. And I roll down my window, the rain's coming in, and I'm like, hello, hello. She flips me off and gives me the finger. People behind me are honking. I go like this, she flips me off again. And I was like, are you leaving? Are you staying? I don't know. And so she rolls down to her window and she goes, can you not see I'm on my phone? I have to figure out where to go. And I'm like, I want to hold my breath. I'm like, I don't want to even say where I think you might be going if you keep this up. But I was like, all I want you to see the people behind me. Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I go? And so she just throws her up the arms in the air, flips me off again, and then comes out and cuts in front of me. So I take the spot. And I look around at the people behind me, and they're just like, oh my gosh. And then just a little bit later, I'm actually on the plane, and I was thinking of Judy, and the guy 2 rows behind us, I thought we were going to have an episode and end up in the news, and they were going to land the plane. This guy was really nice, helping everybody, really tall, must have been 6'4". He was helping everyone open up the bins and put in their luggage. And then, we get into people were upset because we were over an hour and a half delayed. They were all mad because first class had to get their food. And there was a problem with catering, and we sat on this plane while everyone got their food. So people start yelling, who cares about first class? And I'm like, they can have my banana if they need it. So we sat on this plane. Finally, they took the food from another gate. But this guy gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and starts screaming at the man sitting next to him, "You shouldn't go through people's bags. You went in my bag, or you're going to steal something from me, you should not go. Hey man, that's not cool. I want you to have a nice flight, but you should not be going in my bag." The other guy starts screaming and yelling, saying he didn't go through his bag. He thought it was his own bag. All the bags are black. They look the same. The flight attendants came over, and they were like, "We're just trying to de-escalate the situation." And I'm thinking of Judy. We just have to de-escalate the situation. And I sent her a text, and I'm like, "You've got good training with us. I'm just going to de-escalate the situation. We can't tell you privacy matters, what's going on." Anyway, as it turned out, they moved that man, the first guy, to first class, the only other seat on the plane, so he got lucky. And it turned out that the guy that was on the flight had some mental health issues, hadn't taken his medicine. He said he thought it was his bag, and he was looking for his medicine. So they told him, "You just sit there, you be quiet, or we're going to land this plane and take your medicine." Everyone all around, we have a choice how we behave, how we react. Are we going to be, kind and compassionate, or what, are we all just going to turn into this thing that you see on the news? These are the things that we have to decide, because as our world is teetering and is losing its balance, we're like a domino of negative energy. And, I'm sitting there thinking, angels, come be with us. We have to make a choice. Are we going to let the negativity around us infect us and alter our existence? I mean, I was at Target, and this woman standing next to me, and I'm saying this because I want you to see the very simple, mundane moments in your life that you can maybe make a difference. So this woman is behind me. She's got one thing. And I told her she can go ahead. She's like, "Really, really? No. I said, "It's fine, just go ahead." So she goes ahead, and the woman that's paying, she's done. She's finished her transaction. And she's just standing there going through her purse and fiddling around with different things. Once again goes to get her phone. And the woman who I let go ahead of me turns to me and she goes, "Can you believe this? Like, what is she doing? Her transaction is complete." And the checker goes, "Ma'am, your transaction is complete." And she looks all indignant and says, "Well, I need to look in my purse for my keys." And the woman next to her, in front of me, says, "Well, could you just leave the check stand and go do that somewhere else?" And then I'm looking, we're going to have an incident now in Target, So it's just like people are so on edge. Finally, she left, and so I tried to do a nice thing. This woman would have been better off in the other lane. But the reality is we're going to have little moments as things get worse where people are just losing it. And if we can make a choice to be compassionate and kind and smile, and sometimes it's really hard. Do you ever find that? It is just really hard. And what I find when I'm in New Jersey is when people are so nasty, I want to be nasty back. And I realize I got to get a handle on myself, because I'm going to be angry and nasty and, ooh, I'm going to give it to you back. No. We're going to breathe in and out. We're going to be calm. We're going to radiate light. We're going to manifest joy and goodness and happiness. This is what we have to do, because the world isn't going to change unless we do it. We need to know that common kindness is what we need. It is what the world needs now to right itself. We need to remember to be compassionate and kind even when we don't feel like it, even when everyone around us is losing their minds. Negativity begets negativity, and it is a cycle that dominoes out of control. If we all could just go moment to moment, choose to react with positivity and kindness, we will actually alter the confluence of energy that is permeating our world one moment at a time, much like we do with prayer when we come together. The angels are there. They can guide us, but we have to do the work. We have to be willing to wrestle our demons. We have to be willing to wrestle with that which is evil in order to be transformed. And we have to be willing to wrestle with the doubt in our own selves that it is possible. Redemption, resurrection, renewal from a bad state of being into an altered state of higher consciousness and awareness is possible. It happens in this Parshat of Jacob, and he is forever transformed, and then so too are we. Change affects evolution, and over time passes l'dor v'dor from generation to generation, for better or worse. The choices that we make now are going to be a ripple for all time, affecting and shifting our individual and collective reality. In New Jersey, while I was there was a call out for the local secular high school to have a staged, planned walkout in fourth period. It was condoned by the school board to support Palestine. And the Jewish children were afraid to go to school. And all of the Jewish community was starting to rally to try to say, this is not okay. This is what we're up against. This is something that is, and yes, why should we go to the mosque on Sunday? Why should we do that? Because if we don't extend the olive branch, if we don't try to make a difference in the balance of what's going on in this world, we can't expect it to happen. We can't expect God to just do it for us. We can't expect the angels to just make it happen. They're there, but we have to manifest the energy. This is our world. This is our reality that we're creating with one another. Everyone has a right to a different point of view, but we have to be careful what we're doing and how we're wrestling and how we're affecting one another. I mean, to be fair, we've had rallies to support Israel, but we are mindful of the energy that we are manifesting, layered within all the publicity and the events and the way that they're planned. But the persistence in propagating perspectives which may not be peaceful and actually promote hate serves no one on any side. Evil needs to be separated out and sifted and eradicated. So when someone is cremated, now I was in the room when my mother was cremated, it was what she wanted, which is why I'm so good with all of the death thing that we do sometimes. It's an amazing process, and it's the quickest way from ashes to ashes to dust. But the metal, the big pieces of things when we've had surgeries and things, they are literally sifted out away from our bones and from the ash, and that hardware is there. What we need to think about is how can we sift out the evil and then separate it and obliterate it from the mix. Humanity cannot return to its original state of purity that God intended and created within us. Get back to that state. We can't do it if it's allowed to fester and pollute us. As we say in our Elohai Neshama prayer in the morning, the soul that God has given us is pure. Every single person. We choose what we're going to do with it in our daily discourse. We have a choice. I read an article by the New York Times that it is said that we had warning before 9/11 happened. Israel's had warning that was ignored for over a year that Hamas was planning this, but ignored it, just like those of us that went to see the movie about Golda Meir. They didn't think Hamas had the capability or the creativity or to pull something like this off. And so we have to remain humble, and we have to be, in order to be able to go forward, we have to look at all the messages, even if we think that they're unrealistic or not possible to be enacted. We have that responsibility. The messages are sent to us. And we have to sift them and maybe learn to err on the side of being proactive. When that rowboat is sent, we need to be willing to take it. The angels envied us our free will. They were so upset that God gave us the Torah, God gave us free will, but you have to wonder, what are they actually thinking about us right now? In the story of Job, the challenge was on to see between the angels and God, and how would Job react with so much calamity thrown at him again and again and again and again? Would he remain righteous? Would he still remain a person of faith? Just like on Shabbat. There's that preschool song, the Shabbos angels are peeking through the window, checking to see if we're observing. The angels are watching and, in a sense, keeping score. Will we observe? Will we remain righteous in our actions and pure in our hearts and our minds when everyone around us is losing theirs? The challenge is upon us now. Will we wrestle? Will we rise to the occasion? Will we wrestle with our demons? Will we wrestle with evil? And will we come out on top without losing ourselves, without losing our way on all sides? Will we wrestle with the focus on what is good and right for all humanity and in alignment with God? The choice is always ours. God is watching. The angels are watching too, standing by, ready to wrestle, ready to push us toward redemption and rebirth and renewal if we want it, just like with Jacob, as our emissaries on high. Let us all wrestle. Let us all reach for something that is greater than what we currently have, than what we currently are. Let us wrestle to be more, all of us as one global humanity. Let us wrestle and let us be renewed, and let us pray that courageous, good choices will be made so that peace can be had swiftly and a rebirth for all. Can Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.